All right, chums up, men. Let's do this. Welcome to the Sleeping Tiger channel, community, group, whatever you want to call it. I am the CanAsian, or Canadian Asian, and today I'd like to just make a video intro to what kind of my mission statement is, or my vision for this channel is. Okay. And so I've listed some notes here for me to just kind of go over. I'm really finding that I'm actually quite terrible at multitasking here. And so currently in the background, what I have going on is one method that I use to make money in this game, Final Fantasy 14. But this is just something for people who, are happening to just not listen to me talk, but actually watch these videos. Ideally, what I'd like this to be is, something that people can just play in the background and listen to. I don't expect to have super good high production quality videos. This is more of a biographical channel where I want to talk about financial topics and certain things that I think are pretty important that maybe some individuals are overlooking. And so let me go ahead and go to my notes though. Okay. So I want this channel to provide quick thoughts and theories and discussion about financial subjects. And let me know if you think, because I kind of struggled with this. I didn't know, the level of professionalism or how serious somebody would take me, playing video games in the background. But it's just something I do. And I actually think there's a good correlation to, some, at least I feel, for saving money, playing video games and saving money versus, maybe going to a bar, twice a week or something like that, or every Friday. But anyways, I digress. So yes, channel that provides quick thoughts and theories and discussion into financial subjects and, maybe daily news headlines and things like that, and my opinions about them. Viewers who are more debt adverse but tolerant would find this channel very easy to digest. And I want to have discussions that talk about more long-term sustainability, and wealth protection, generational wealth, things like that. Okay. And you'll hear me talk about a lot of different books and theories in that regards. And then what I really want, so I was listening to a podcast by David Kiyosaki most recently, and he was talking about a book called Stillness. Okay. And so I've been trying to practice this more, but I was on a walk, and it was about an hour long, and for the first 45 minutes I just listened to the podcast, right? And then for the last 15 minutes of the walk, I just shut everything off and just listened to my footsteps and the wind in the trees and things like that. And in that moment, I just tried to shut everything off, stop thinking about work, stop thinking about what I was doing, oh, I'm exercising or whatever. And just kind of breathe and listen. And, visually, I was just trying to focus on details of items around me. And in that time, my head kept coming back to this one thing, and it was YouTube. Okay. And the idea of making YouTube videos. Okay. And the part I struggled with, and trust me, when I had this moment, I wasn't thinking about all these things I am now. It's kind of like backwards, reverse engineering what happened so that I could kind of disseminate, I guess, the thought process that happened quite quickly in my head. But I was thinking, I really have an issue with the label content creator, and that I didn't want to be lumped together if I did YouTube in that thing. And so one thing I've always enjoyed about, multiplayer video games like this, like Final Fantasy 14, is that you can get together with a bunch of people and you have something in common. And that's usually the game, right? You just talk about the game. And, you eventually develop relationships with people outside of the game and things like that. But what I really lacked in RL or real life was people who are like-minded to myself about finances, because I really like talking about finances. I like talking about news. I like talking about. I got my wife says like the happiest time she ever seen me is when interest rates went to zero and mortgages were like 3%. So I'm that kind of person. At my wedding, my best man talked about how like some of the things I get most fun at are playing Diablo and making spreadsheets, and that's just the kind of person I am. And so I lacked a group of people that shared some commonality with me. Okay, and not because of just video games and spreadsheets, but more about finances. It does seem that talking about money and finances with some people, the majority of people, is taboo. You just don't do it. You don't want to talk about how much somebody's saving or how much debt they have or anything like that. And usually it's because it's a topic that's a little negative. And it really does influence somebody's decisions that they've made. And, they hold it close to heart. It becomes very egocentric. So I just don't have a lot of people in my sphere um, that, and it's no fault of their own. I would put it that way. You know, a lot of things are just happen chance and stuff like that. But I don't feel comfortable talking about a lot of the stuff that I'm doing right now with those people because I feel like it's boasting, right? If you're doing so well fiscally, financially, that sort of thing, you don't want to say, "Oh, hey, yeah, I'm saving, almost $2,000 a month or whatever," that sort of thing. And then that person is really struggling with the idea of having to try to finance a new car or something like that. Or that person, maybe like severely in debt, you know, and you're not, and that sort of thing. And so I don't. It puts your decisions and your choices against theirs, and or at least that's how I feel. And people don't really like hearing about it because they're dealing with their own game, right? So it's nothing against those people, but I wanted to try to create a community. And this is where I come back to that labeling of content creator. So I decided that I would be more willing to create a YouTube channel and talk about these subjects if I didn't view it in the lens of being a content creator and more of somebody who's just really trying to put together a community, right? And I'm doing this mostly for fun. I really don't care to create a website and maybe we'll do a Discord, I don't know. But really I would like to just keep it as YouTube and YouTube comments. Okay? And so this channel would be something that somebody would enjoy, like I said, if they're debt adverse, they adopt an investing style of prowling in the background, being patient, waiting, gathering strength before they pounce on, I don't want to say air quotes deal, but like a decision, right? You really mull it over and you really give it your best, right? And so I really just want to build a community of individuals like that because that's how I feel I am. And I don't really buy into the speculative trading. I really don't buy into, this is going to be something I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for and stuff like that. Over exposure to equities, whether or not you're highly invested in ETFs, mutual funds, bonds, that sort of thing, paper trades. I'm very cautious right now of those places, and maybe it's just because of situations like um, the dot-com bubble, the 2008 2007 recession, those sorts of things. So I really don't like being in a ton of equities exposure. So anyways, bringing it all back in though. So this channel is going to be more biographical in nature. Just going to be me talking, not a ton of editing, not a ton of professional things. And then I am also going to, when I talk, it's going to be more about what I would do, what I have done, and what I will do. And I would say all subject matter is speculative in nature and doesn't reflect a professional suggestion. Okay, so whatever you glean from this channel, like anything else, please do your own due diligence. Please look at look at what you need to investigate before making that decision. Okay, just don't base it off of any of the comments here or any of the comments I make. Do your own due diligence. Be smart about it. Um, and that's about it. And I'd like to hear some feedback. Like I said, I'm really terrible at multitasking. I have not grasped the ability to play games and do talking at the same time. So let me know what your thoughts are about, whether or not I should put video games in the background or whatnot, or maybe I should just, take my phone out and go for a walk or something like that. But maybe I'll do a bit of both. And if what I also could do is I could also just record the video of the gameplay separate from the actual audio and then overlay them. And that would be something that would be easier for me to do. But anyways, I want to thank anybody who stayed to the end of this video. And one thing I will tell you is that I am going to try to make each video provide some sort of value, okay? Whether or not it's just a little thought to keep in the back of your head and think about, or whether it could be something that could really change your opinion. The thing I wanted to pose today was the idea that speculative day trading is similar to playing a game of monkey in the middle, okay? And what I mean by that is if you were ever a small child, I don't know, there's a game that older children would play on smaller children called Monkey in the Middle, and that's where they would take something of the smaller child and hold it above their head and try to get them to, just keep it, dangle it, just out of reach, that sort of thing. And, it's all fun and games. But what I'm saying is that people who day trade, and it's not to bash on anybody's profession or anything like that, but I really do see it as speculative and very dangerous gambling. Okay? And this is why. You will be the smaller child in the middle, the monkey. And the people that surround you, dangling those gains, dangling those earnings over your head, are big institutions like pension funds, like large investment companies and hedge funds, that sort of thing. And they're equipped with algorithms, a slew of air quotes professionals, that sort of thing, who are making these trades. And they can do it in the sense of nanoseconds. They move their headquarters and they create servers and they spend a ton of money on different sorts of communication equipment so that they can make their trade faster than you could ever think to make your trade. Or that your online brokerage, and I'm not going to name drop any, make the trades for you. Okay? And so you see these juggernauts surrounding you and you're trying to jump and catch these gains and that sort of thing. So how realistic do you think it is for you to consistently make those gains? And I feel that the more often you engage in that act, the less likely it is that you're going to come out on top. So again, I pose the question to you guys. Do you see speculative trading? Do you see people who day trade? Not necessarily swing trade. I think things like that Warren Buffett and swing traders may do are different because they can also be based off of seasonal projections that have a little bit more lag in them. But when we talk about day trading and pull the trigger kind of trading, that sort of thing, I really do feel like you're playing a game of monkey in the middle against some really big opponents. So again, I pose that question to you guys. I thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video, and please leave a comment. I'm open to suggestions at this point about this channel, but at the same time, I'm really just doing it for me. And I'm going to continue just to make videos, even if it's not horribly popular, because if I can even just get 100 people to watch these videos and glean some sort of information from them, that would make me happy. And then, interacting with those individuals. All right, you guys. Well, thank you very much, and I am the CanAsian, and you have a great day. All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Bravo, Delta. Peacock? I don't know.